Recruiters spend 7 seconds on your resume, and numbers are the only thing they actually read. Not your job titles. Not your carefully worded bullet points. The digits. Their eyes lock onto anything that isn't a word. Here's the part nobody tells you. The people who get triple the interviews aren't the ones with the most impressive jobs. They're the ones who translated their ordinary jobs into numbers everyone else forgot to include. And the most counterintuitive truth of all? You don't need a job that comes with obvious metrics. Support reps, admins, operations people, career switchers, every single role is secretly dripping with data. You've just never been taught to see it. So today I'm going to show you how to invent defensible numbers for jobs that seem completely unmeasurable. Not lie. Not exaggerate. Defensible. Numbers you can back up in an interview without breaking a sweat. But first, let's understand why numbers hijack a recruiter's brain in the first place. When someone schemes text, everything blurs into a gray wall. Words look like other words. But a number is a pattern break. It's visually different, so your eye snaps to it automatically. Recruiters aren't reading your resume, they're pattern matching it. A digit also signals something powerful. This person measured their own impact. It whispers, this candidate thinks in results, not tasks. And that single impression can move you from the maybe pile to the interview pile. Now here's where most advice fails you. Everyone says add metrics. Great. But what if your job never handed you a dashboard? What if you answered phones, scheduled meetings, or kept the office running? The generic advice just leaves you stuck. So let's fix that. The trick is understanding that every job produces data, it's just invisible until you ask the right 4 questions. Question 1, how many? How many customers did you talk to in a week? How many invoices did you process? How many events did you coordinate? Volume is the easiest number to recover, because you did it over and over. Say you were a receptionist. You didn't just answer phones. You managed roughly 40 incoming calls a day and routed them across 12 departments. Suddenly a forgettable job has scale. Question 2, how often, or how fast? Frequency and speed turn routine work into performance. Did you turn requests around in 24 hours? Did you close tickets faster than the team average? Time is a metric hiding in plain sight. An admin who says I responded to internal requests within 2 hours sounds sharper than one who just says handled requests. Same job. Wildly different signal. Question 3, how much money touched your hands? You don't need to be in sales to talk dollars. Did you manage a supply budget? Book travel? Handle vendor invoices? If money passed through your work, you can size it. Managed a departmental supply budget of $30,000 is a number a hiring manager respects instantly. You weren't ordering pens. You were controlling spend. Question 4, what got better because you were there? This is the golden one. Fewer errors. Faster onboarding. Higher satisfaction. Less turnover. Improvement numbers are the ones that make recruiters actually pause. Now, I promised defensible, so let's talk about how to find these numbers without making them up. Start with what you can count directly. Look at old calendars, email folders, spreadsheets, and CRM logs. You'll find real volumes you completely forgot. 40 emails a day. 15 meetings a week. It's all there in the digital exhaust of your job. Next, use reasonable estimation. If you handled about 10 customers an hour on a 6-hour shift, that's 60 a day, roughly 300 a week. That's not lying, that's math you can explain out loud. And explainable is defensible. The test is simple. If an interviewer asked how did you get that number, could you answer calmly? If yes, use it. If you'd panic or backpedal, cut it. Defensible means you can stand behind it in the room. Now let me show you the transformation on real bullets, so you see the leap. Before, responsible for customer support. After, Resolved over 50 support tickets daily with a 95% satisfaction rating. Same person. One version gets skipped, the other gets a callback. Before, handled office administration. After, coordinated scheduling for a team of 25 and cut meeting conflicts by roughly 40%. Notice the ranges and the roughly, that honesty actually makes it stronger, not weaker. Before, assisted with data entry. After, processed 200+ records weekly with under 1% error rate. Boring task, impressive framing, and every word is true. Here's a subtle move that separates pros from amateurs. Pair your number with an outcome, not just an activity. Don't just say made 40 calls a day. Say made 40 calls a day, booking 12 qualified meetings a week. Activity plus result, that's the combination that converts. And one warning. Don't quantify everything into oblivion. A resume drowning in numbers loses the ones that matter. Pick your 3 or 4 strongest per role. Scarcity makes each figure pop off the page. There's also a hidden benefit almost no one talks about. Once your resume is full of real numbers, you've basically pre-written your interview answers. When they ask tell me about your impact, you already have the figures memorized. The resume becomes your script. So tonight, open your resume and run every bullet through the 4 questions. How many? How fast? How much money? What got better? You will find numbers you didn't know you had, and they were sitting there the whole time. Because the truth is, you were never in an unmeasurable job. You just described it like one. Fix the description, and the same career suddenly reads like a track record.